So it feels like recently voices online are getting louder and louder of people demanding new Ghost Adventures episodes. Okay, I see this on Reddit, on Twitter, wherever you come across Zak Bagans and anything related to Ghost Adventures, there's comments underneath of people saying, so when? New season, please. Same with house calls. Okay, people want new content. Well, I thought we might be in luck because about 15 days ago, Zak Bagans on his Instagram announced a new show, a whole new format. Okay, because we don't have enough formats yet. He announced a show called Destinations of the Damned with Zak Bagans, saying in this post on Instagram, giving us this teaser picture here, which is amazing in my opinion. But he says that it will premiere October 2nd on Max and Discovery Plus. Now, today is October 4th, so the show has premiered. It is out, and I made the mistake of watching 2 episodes. The whole first season came out in one go, so you can watch all the episodes and binge them if you want. I watched only 2 of them. That's kind of where my interest for the show left me. And I want to talk about that, and I want to look at some of the reception online of people talking about the show, because obviously it's brand new, it's out there. Loads of people express their opinions on various social media platforms, and I want to read some of those comments. Now, if you look at the episode list, these are all the episodes that are out. And again, it's a whole season releasing all at once. It's 5 episodes. Okay, but I only watched the first one and the 4th one for obvious reasons. I'm a German, and when I see an episode that's called The Nazi Portal to Hell, I have to watch it, okay? It is my duty, and I wholeheartedly do what I need to do and watch this episode. I watched those 2 episodes, and I wish I hadn't. I'm not gonna lie, all right? Because here's the thing. People want more Ghost Adventures. What that means is people want more investigations of Zak and the crew in haunted locations. Going in there, find that evidence, right? We want answers. Well, you won't get them in this show because there is basically no investigation, and there also is basically no Zak Bagans, okay? He's just narrating over a random crew that goes into these locations and doesn't even do investigation. It is much more a documentary travel storytelling format, if that makes sense, right? So he narrates and he tells the stories of all these allegedly haunted locations, but it is a little bit like the first half of a Ghost Adventures episode, right? When they're building the story, they give the background about the location, but then they don't do the investigation, and there also is no Ghost Adventures crew. So that's how you have to imagine the Destinations of the Damned with Zak Bagans. So I was really disappointed. I watched the 2 episodes, and that was more than enough for me. I didn't want to see more of it. A lot of people say, well, I fell asleep to it. I slept like a baby to this show, and I'm not sure that's the idea. But I feel like there's a little bit of a bigger story challenge, whatever you want to call it here, because Zak famously doesn't fly anymore, right? There's loads of rumors why that is the case, but that drastically limits the locations that they can actually investigate with the Ghost Adventures crew, right? Hence, he's already kind of outsourced himself with house calls, where he's not even traveling to the location anymore, and he literally phones in his performance, right? He's literally just on some video chat, and he's like, boys, you gotta go in and find that demon or whatnot. Which is hilarious to me, and it feels like at this point he's not even leaving his house anymore. He's just like inventing new formats where he doesn't have to be on site at all. He's basically retired and just working via Zoom. He's working remotely. He's hunting those ghosts remotely. That's at least how it feels, and that's how it feels with this new show, Destinations of the Damned, as well. So it's another show that does the same thing. Zak Bagans calls in his performance, narrates over it, but doesn't actively do any investigating, which I find very funny. It just feels like he doesn't want to investigate anymore. So he's like one of the most sought after ghost investigators out there, and he's like, well, going in there myself and doing the investigation. I shouldn't do that. But let's read what the internet thinks. I think it's pretty clear what my thoughts on the show are. Let's get an idea. So here's a post from 16 hours ago on the Ghost Adventures subreddit, and it's titled Destinations of the Damned. Thoughts? Any thoughts? Spankdank96 says, underwhelming first episode. Cool concept, but I think it could be better. Zak's storytelling almost put me to sleep. I would probably have liked it more if it didn't come out on 11 p.m. So it's very late for this person to watch. I hope house calls come back for season 3. It's not regular Ghost Adventures, but at least there's something that feels familiar, right? How could you express the desperation of fans more than this comment? It's almost like people have given up on Ghost Adventures and they're like, okay, all right, fine. I'm satisfied with house calls as long as there are some familiar characters there and they do some investigating, right? We're lowering our standard more and more for what this show should be. Shake the Daisy, I don't know how to pronounce that name, lead speak, bro, but he or she says, first episode was boring and surprisingly short in regard to the actual investigation. I will be taking my time with watching the rest of the episodes. I'm 8 minutes in, says imdb 24, and I'm hoping the crew will get introduced. I thought I saw Lauren for a second, but not positive. So it's like, people don't even know who they're looking at. It's like, who are these people? Can we like do a round of introduction? Can everyone just say their name and introduce what their role in this thing is? This is a feeling I had as well. It's like, who are these people? Like, I don't even know what's going on. I've lived to regret, on Reddit, says WTF, the episode was not bad for what it was, a documentary, okay? This is not a ghost hunting show. It's a documentary. But what was most upsetting to me was how Zak referred to the people investigating as my crew. Are you me? His crew is Aaron, Billy, and Jay, not whomever he hires temporarily for a single episode. While I thought the first episode was intriguing, I also thought it was laborious in how it exploited the people while calling in psychics who revealed absolutely nothing. The second episode showed that it was not the same crew as in the first episode. I didn't watch the second episode, as I said, which just angered me even more when he referred to them as my crew. So basically what Zak is saying, that these days I'm too much of a P word, you gotta read this yourself, to leave Nevada. So I have others to do that while I narrate and make the lion's share of the money. Shameful. You should be ashamed of yourself, Zak. Okay, that's what I've lived to regret says. Not many. And look, if there would be great, like very positive opinions here, I would read them out. I'm not just picking the negative ones. Effing stupid says something sinful, attributing an eruption and devastating floods to the paranormal. Ugh. I was totally underwhelmed and not so impressed. Where is Zak and his crew? I just saw his camera woman. It's not the same without us knowing the investigation team. That is actually such a good point that I'm Chillfish. That's the same guy who made another comment above, maybe a girl, making here, because it is such a crucial point of this show and why Ghost Adventures works to an extent. Even, we all agree the later episodes is not where we were 5 years ago. But it is such an essential and crucial point that we know who these people are, right? We want to know Billy, and we want to know Aaron, and we want to know Zak, and we want to have a connection to these personalities who are going through this experience of scouting this location for ghosts. And by just putting random people in place that people don't even know and have no relationship with them, and like someone said, they're not even introduced, it's like, you know what I mean? It misses this key connection point between the personalities in the show and the audience. And yeah, it feels like that's something they haven't really considered for this one. It really feels like they just took Zak Bagans' name, slapped it on this documentary kind of format, like made sure that he has as little to do actively with the show besides narrating it and maybe appearing in 1 or 2 shots in the opener or whatever, and then let other people do the actual work. And as long as it says Zak Bagans in the package, people are going to watch it. It just feels like a lazy effort, you know what I mean, with his name on the package. JDBug7 says, I watched the first episode, and while I enjoyed the storytelling, I kept waiting for Zak to show up. His narration is on point, and I didn't dislike the episode, but I was kind of hoping for more, but still only watched 1 episode, so I don't know yet. Well, I don't think he will appear more in the future episodes, okay? Sorry to disappoint there. That's just the format, that's it. He doesn't really appear, he just narrates from his bedroom. Chillbird LaRouche says, my mom and I liked it. It's just a documentary with dark undertones, narrated by the one and only Zak Bagans. Fair enough. I'm not here to disagree with you. I guess if you go in with this expectation for it just to be a documentary, it's a completely different format, then sure, I guess you can enjoy it. But the problem is people are kind of starved of content. I spoke about it, right? No house calls, no ghost adventures for quite some time. People want investigations. People want the format and the characters that they know. So they go with that expectation into that show, and then many of them get disappointed. Maybe Zak should have managed these expectations slightly better going into the show. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Great comment here by George 1878. Mr. WKND 1961 says, scale out of 1 to 10, 1. Not impressed. Ouch. It was okay, says Immediate Royal 3841, but the usual antics. The ending seemed cut short and weird. I think the only crew members were the photographers, bland at best. So you get a rough idea. It's not well received over here on Reddit, okay? And there's a bunch of more threads like this one. Showed you earlier the list of these episodes. The comments under this one. similar. Okay, people are not happy that there are only 5 episodes, claiming, this is a whole season. On IMDb, it currently sits at 5.4 out of 10, which is not great. Oh, it just went down. I just refreshed, literally. It went from 5.4 to 5.1. So the reviews are coming in. You get a rough idea here. These are the user ratings. So it's not that many who reviewed it yet. Okay, it's 14 reviews, I think, at this point. So it remains to be seen. The show is very fresh. But 5.1, that's not looking good. Let's move over to Twitter. Okay, let's get an idea of what people on Twitter are saying using hashtag Destination of the Damned. Oh, it's Destinations of the Damned. I keep forgetting that S. I don't know why. It kind of escapes me. Anyone else not into this new show, or is it just me? Hashtag Destinations of the Damned. Ugh. Beanbag Money complains that Zak Babyback B-word Bagans is as soft as baby S-word. Oh boy, he's hitting hard here. Bro, if you can't handle a little bit of feedback, then quit putting your assy cop-out show that you just slapped your name on, think it will make any hit, toughen up, cupcake. And then he posts this little post here where he basically says, I love Ghost Adventures, but this ain't it, bud. And he adds Zak Bagans, and he gets blocked. Instant block. Now, I don't know if this is true, if this really happened because of this post, but he's clearly been blocked by Zak Bagans. And we've seen this in the past, right? Like, there was this post that I read a few years ago, like an article, an interview with Zak Bagans, that he hates these haters. He hates people who criticize him. He hates people who dare to question that all his efforts to find answers are authentic and real and that it's all rooted in reality. Anyone who questions that, he's not the biggest fan of it. I'm not blocked yet, and I think that's just because I haven't tweeted at Zak Bagans. I think if I would do that, it'd be an instant block. Jake Janovic says, it's time to watch Destinations of the Damned. Zak Bagans, you are so awesome. Well, there you go. We found one. But I think this is before he watched the show, so I don't know if this is, what his opinion was afterwards. Leonard Pierce says, oh, give it a rest, Bagans. For F's sake, come on. Hashtag Destinations of the Damned. But overall, slightly more positive feedback over here on Twitter. People are saying, showtime, I'm going to watch it. Let's go. It's time to watch Destination of the Damned. Slightly more positive feedback, I feel, overall on Twitter, but it seems like a lot of people here are tweeting before they watch the show. They're like, I'm so excited to watch this tonight. Finally, it's here. I'm starting to watch it now. And not that many reviews of people saying, yeah, I watched it and these were my thoughts. So V says, this is more like it. Destinations of the Damned series is not off to the best start. It wasn't that great or exciting. It was more of a history documentary than a ghost demon show. It didn't have much excitement for me. So you get a rough idea. Mixed receptions, mixed ratings for the show so far. Guys, I want to know your thoughts. Hopefully by the time you watch this video, you have watched the show or at least a few episodes. So I want to hear your thoughts on the show down in the comment section below. And again, look, I have my opinion. You can have your opinion. People on Twitter and Reddit can have their opinion. It's all allowed. If you love the show, if you think it's the best thing since sliced bread, then please share that down in the comments. Nobody will judge you for that. It's great that you share your thoughts. I'm curious to get a little bit of a discussion going where we want this to go, whether we're happy with this. Do we want more ghost adventures, more house calls, more demon? I didn't watch the demon house stuff. Let me know how that is, by the way. Should I check this out? Loads of questions, not that many answers so far. It's not looking great for Destinations of the Damned. But that's just me and a few of the comments I read. Guys, share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. I would appreciate that. You can also subscribe or join our Discord, okay? Many other people hanging out there. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend a night in a haunted jail, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Once I put that out there, my video, whatever will happen tomorrow night, you won't miss it, and you will see me hunting ghosts in the most haunted derelict prison in England. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out. Bye.